You're listening to Off the Vine with Kaitlyn Bristowe.
Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe. Today we have on, first and foremost, my friend, Leigh Taylor, which we learned why you're called Leigh Taylor, but you're actually Taylor, but we call you Leigh Taylor and your Instagram handle, all that stuff. What I thought we were going to talk a lot about was fashion, which we did.
Yeah.
You gave a lot of good information for people who are on a budget, who need to put pieces, staple pieces in their wardrobe, where to shop, my personal style, how you got to where you are. But we also went down a rabbit hole on like spirituality and celery juice and
endometriosis,
and all the things.
all the things.
Literally. It was a wild ride.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
A little bit of everything, and I enjoyed it.
Me too.
Wholeheartedly.
I love you.
I love you. First of all, let me get this out of the way. Styled by Leigh Taylor.
God, the worst idea I have. Are you talking about the branding?
You know what I'm going to ask. Is it Leigh or is it Taylor? I know the answer to this, but
Okay, so outside of the South, no one understands like the double names.
Yeah.
So it was a horrible idea to put both names in
because people think you're Leigh.
Yes, and everyone thinks Taylor is my last name.
Yeah.
So like I will go out and I know so many Leighs. So like people will say like, "Oh, hey Leigh," or ask Stefan like, "Where's Leigh?" And like no one knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my family has
'Cause you're
always
from
Louisiana. Yes, New Orleans.
Yeah.
And like my cousin's name is Boyce Lee Powers. So like we call her Boyce Lee. So I'm Leigh Taylor. And like Leigh named after her and like a bunch of people in my family. But yeah, so Leigh Taylor, when I was going to make my Instagram handle like a zillion years ago, like the Swifties had already taken all the Taylor names, you know, which like respect, like way to be on it.
Yeah.
And so, but like there was nothing left for me, like, and Taylor. So I was like, okay, Leigh Taylor's good. But no, everyone thinks Taylor's my last name. And it's not.
I mean, I did for a long time until I actually became friends with you. And then I was like, oh. I feel like a lot of people ask me that question for you. So then I'm like, well, it makes an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
You're like, here we go again.
Yeah. You can just call me Taylor. That's what we've like decided on. And also growing up, like there were so many Taylors. Like I had this one math class, there were 5 Taylors. So I just became LT. So really like Leigh Taylor, LT Taylor, honestly, call me Sarah. I don't really give whatever. Hey, you.
Call me
like,
Susan. That's funny.
Yeah.
So you grew up in New Orleans.
Kind of.
Okay.
So I was there. I moved here in 3rd grade, but I have a ton, like my biological mom, like I still have my sister there. Like there's family there. I go back often. But yeah, I moved here in 3rd grade with my dad.
Yeah.
We grew up in Brentwood, like right town over. Went to Scales Elementary, Brentwood Middle, Brentwood High. Then I went to UT for college. Dropped out, have 1 semester left. Whoops.
Oh my gosh, that's such a like stylist thing to do.
I really thought I was going to be a doctor.
No, you didn't. You thought you were going to be a doctor?
Oh yeah, I did it all. Like I like
Now,
basically.
did you want to, or did you feel pressure from family, or what was it?
Both.
Okay.
Because like I had my tonsils out when I was like 4 and I was obsessed with the anesthesiologist. Like I ended up having something wrong and had to like stay in the hospital for a couple days. And I had been talking about how I wanted this electric toothbrush, which like back in the day, you know, it's like a big ass gift.
Yeah.
I'll be 35 in September, so y'all do the math. That was a big gift back then. Okay?
Yeah.
Actually, those bitches are still expensive. So like,
No, I honestly bought one from Philips, and I was like,
what?
they're not giving them away.
For real.
No.
Oral B,
Yeah.
hook it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be a sponsor on the pod, please. I need
Off the vine.
The budget's tight.
Big Oral B fans. So the anesthesiologist like had come in and he bought me like whatever toothbrush, the electric toothbrush. And so from then on, you know me, like when I lock in on something, bitch, I was like, I'm gonna be an anesthesiologist. And so I did. I like went through pre-med, did the whole thing, and I
forgot that. I actually did know that, but I forgot.
Yeah. Went to Argentina to study medicinal Spanish. I wanted to do Doctors Without Borders. And yeah, I dropped out. I was like, this is a lot more fun.
That's crazy. So how many years, at what point did you drop out? How many years did you have left?
I basically stayed in Argentina. And when I came back, like all my friends had graduated because I went my junior, like the spring semester, my junior year. And so I did come home like eventually and was like, okay, let me just go finish at MTSU since everyone had graduated from UT. And I went to do like my first semester of my senior year. And I'll never forget, I was like in my Organic 2 final and I literally was like, I just don't want to do this. So I just walked out and I failed the class because that class was only like 2 tests. Like you had your midterm and your final. So I was just like, it. And I remember I called my friend and I was like, I think I just dropped out of college.
How chic.
Yeah, so cute. And I kind of shit my pants. I had been like a server all through college, and continued that until I had a dream that I was supposed to go to aesthetic school. That's how I became a makeup artist, which like, LOL, don't judge my makeup. It's been the same for
Your clean girl aesthetic. Yeah.
I mean,
like
but
it.
it's like the same shit since 12 years ago. I actually, Beck, she's a great makeup artist.
Oh, she just did mine for the Opry.
Okay,
100th
one, I
anniversary.
just genuinely love her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
you look
so
fire.
cool.
Great dress.
Thank you.
She's so sweet. And I was like, hey, can I hire you to come like teach me to do makeup? Because like she did my makeup one time for Fashion Week, like for this event or whatever. And it was so fire and my skin looked like porcelain. And I was like, will you just come teach me how to do that so I can like do it on the daily?
Yeah.
Like, what's the vibe? And she was like, absolutely. So we're gonna do that in a couple of weeks.
Oh, fun.
I know.
Oh, that's a good
cute.
idea.
I'm excited.
So then you're just like, no makeup. And then how did you find your way into styling?
So that's so fun, actually. So I was a makeup artist. I went to Aveda.
Yeah.
Like I'm a licensed esthetician. I've never been an
That's so
esthetician,
cool.
but that's like where I really like found makeup artistry and loved it, and then started actually doing it as a profession and hated it because back then it was, you know, not what it is now, especially in Nashville. It was like mostly just like brides. That's how you made all the money.
Oh my gosh. No,
Southern bride.
Thank you. No, a bride in general, a Southern bride.
Can you imagine? Like it's either the bride, the mom, or like one of the bridesmaids. Like I love like celebrating people. I love people to have birthdays and just like feel love and like a mother of the bride that like thinks it's her show, or worse, a bridesmaid that like can't give the bride their moment. Like I have a hard time like keeping my mouth shut. We all know that. So like
same.
I just like, I was like, this is not for me, but I kept doing it because I was making good money. And then it was Mallory Irvin, actually. She was like working with Stefan a little bit, or they were friends, whatever. And she saw a picture of us at the time and was like, oh my gosh, like your girlfriend, like they started talking. It was like when Instagram first started, and she had been on like Amazing Race or something with her dad. And she was like, she should start doing Instagram. Like they'll send her like all of her makeup products for free. So I started doing that. And I hated it because, you know, in real life, I have makeup on right now, but in real life, I don't wear it.
Yeah.
So I hated like waking up every day and putting on makeup and then taking a picture. I was like, this is just not me. So I started posting what I was wearing instead. And I think I had like 7,000 followers at the time. And like, y'all know, like my Instagram, I don't that really. I try and do my stories every day, just like maintain some shit.
You're
but
entertaining.
Like, I'm trying to get back to it. Maybe one day, probably not, but we'll see. Damn it. I'm the worst. I should not be here. Like what? So also I like run people's Instagram for a living. So like, sorry if y'all see this.
Yeah, but no, you're good at it.
Well, thanks. I love marketing and PR. So like that, you know, and also, so basically styling and my PR company came from social media. So like I do know a thing or two,
Right.
but I just put my clients first is really the issue. But I think that's a good problem to have, right?
no.
So yeah, I started posting what I was wearing, and this record label from New York reached out and was like, hey, like one of our artists follows you. They'd love for you to like come do their makeup for their album, but also they want you to style them. So yeah, they were like, I was terrified. I dressed like friends and family at the time, but like I never thought of it as like a viable career. And so I just like threw out some number, you know, thinking like they were for sure going to say no. I was scared, like perfect. They'll say no, I won't have to do it. And they were like, okay, great. Like we'll buy your flight tomorrow. And I was like, and that was the last face of makeup I ever did. I became a celebrity wardrobe stylist after that.
Oh my gosh. That's
Isn't that
so
crazy?
Yeah, I love that though.
The universe, baby.
If you're always putting yourself out there and just being like, okay, let's go for it, you'll find your path.
Literally.
Because you could
this
have
is me
been
putting
too-
myself out here, bitch. I haven't been that nervous since I did that bitch's like styling.
All of a
Now I'm
sudden
here.
you're like, start your own podcast and it's better than mine. I'm like, you're like, sorry, the
Absolutely
universe
not.
aligned me in the right path, and this is where I'm supposed
Thanks
to
for
be
teaching
now.
me everything I know about podcasts. Okay. She's a podcast girly.
That's funny. That's
God,
a
I'm
cool
dead.
story though. Your life to get to where you have gotten to is fascinating.
Wow, that's so
and
nice.
It is, and it's you've just taken risks, and you've been able to just be like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to figure it out from here. And
I mean, you too, bitch. Like seriously.
what sign are you?
Libra.
I don't know anything about Libras.
We're like balanced and like I don't know. I mean, we're indecisive. I always say like I can't decide where I want to eat. I can't do, you know, but like when it
thought that was
comes to
just being a
business,
woman.
I'm just like
Yeah,
right?
you do know.
I'm literally not afraid to try. I'm more afraid to have regrets. So I'm just like, let's do it. And if it doesn't work out, like it doesn't work out. Like
That's so great.
I mean,
what's interesting for me is I used to be like that more than I am now. And I'm like, I would think that I would prove to myself, hey, keep doing that and you'll grow and grow. And now I'm like, I'm scared to leave the house.
You say that, bitch, and you literally do like every other day. I'm like, get a email like, hey, Kaitlyn's like, you know, the host of this show, or she's like doing Dancing with the Stars, or she's, and I'm like, cool. I would expect that from her.
This is the slowest I've been in like 10 years. And it's still not that slow, but it's the slowest I've been in 10 years.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah,
I'm a failure.
Absolutely not. But I get that like mentality. And I'm trying to like work through it because like, I'm like every single day I get so overwhelmed and I'm like, should I just be a housewife? Like, you know my fiance well, and he has like become a baker in the last couple of years, which like, honestly, I would tell him all the time. I'm like, he's so hot and he has a super Southern draw and you're baking. And I'm like, we could make so much money off of you. Like, please let me like do your Instagram, like a YouTube channel,
and
something.
he is like the opposite of like, does he even use his Instagram?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if it's active. Like, he didn't even have the app on his phone for like 5 years.
That's
like,
crazy.
he's just a sweet, wholesome little baby. And I love him so much.
You guys are, it's actually so cute because sometimes I don't believe people when I'm like, yeah, right. As if 14 years and you're still in love. But I'm like, I'll like, sometimes we've been on the phone and I'm like, what are you guys doing? You're like, just cuddling. I'm like, what? You still cuddle after 14 years? That's
oh my
so
God,
cool.
every single night. I literally, honestly, I get that. Like when you see people, but also I feel like you just have to show, which I was a lot better back in the day, like showing the good, bad, and the ugly, because everyone has it. And it's just like, if anyone tells you they've been together 14 years and they haven't like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love him more than anyone. I will also punch him in the face, not actually, in case people are worried about that. But like they push your buttons. But I heard something the other day. It was like they can push your buttons because they're the ones that made them, and I loved that.
Ooh.
I know because like it's so right. They know, like they just know.
But it's like a double. Like you are pushing my buttons, and you made those buttons.
Yes, but they're probably only buttons because it's like anyone else would do it. I wouldn't be bothered by it, but he does it. I'm like, I will kill you. Oh my God. So I loved that. But yeah, anyone who says it's like perfect all the time is liar.
I don't. And now I'm like, I have a more realistic vision for a relationship these days. Cause I'm like, it just doesn't like, even if I'm in like an argument, I'm like, it'll pass. Arguments are normal. That can happen. I don't have to spiral or be like, I've really learned that over, probably the last 5 years.
I'm really reactive, like based off like my childhood and especially like men and like that think they're in power positions. Like, and obviously in PR and marketing, there's a lot of those. Yeah. And so obviously we can't lose clients because I go off on someone, but like, maybe, you know what? There's been a time or two where I've actually just like been like, I don't actually need your money.
Yeah. It's a good place to be.
Right? Oh, well, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
But so a couple years ago, and like I'm down to try anything. I've had an energy healer forever, a Tana. That's where I get my crystals and shit. I'll do anything like once. Well, depends
what it is,
anyway, moving on.
You're like anal once.
I've actually never done anal because y'all know I had colon issues. If you're like an OG
true.
follower, that's how I literally and I'm like exit only. I also say it's the last hole I have reserved for my husband.
Wait, that's so funny. Everybody, whenever I'm like dancing or singing or acting or they're like, what don't you do? I'm like anal. That's what I don't do.
Literally, I'm not an anal girl.
Yeah.
But not to like, if you are, get after it.
Oh, absolutely. I don't yuck anybody's up.
Right. I know.
I kind of wish I was into it.
I don't know.
I
think I've had too much trauma back there. I like have my colonoscopy. I get those every 2 years since I was 22. Like it's just like a lot of trauma back there for me. I'm just like, no, we're good.
I get that. And we have enough to work
going
with.
on. Yeah,
that's good.
Okay. But anyway, so it's called Lynn's Neurofeedback Therapy. And I'm going to totally butcher this. I think where I go, this is not like an ad or anything. I just like truly changed my life. And I think it would be really good for you because I am reactive. Like I know that about myself. And so a couple years ago, I was doing EMDR. I still am doing EMDR.
Same.
And my therapist recommended this. And basically, especially if you're triggered by talk therapy, like it's amazing for people like that.
Yeah.
So basically it's once a week for 12 weeks. And the first like session, I guess there's 27 parts of your brain. I'm not a doctor. I should probably say this. I might.
Well, preface with you're not a doctor.
Yeah.
Go
okay.
on.
So I think
what you know is
right,
allegedly.
Allegedly, I think there's 27 parts of your brain. So the first like session, you go in, I think it's like 45 minutes to an hour long, and they put these little like grounders on your ear that clip them onto your ears, which sounds so intense, and it's literally not. You can't feel the shit at all. It looks like a really tiny penny or like a nickel. It's silver, so a nickel. Okay, and so then they literally like map out your brain. So they do each part of your brain, and they can tell like what frequency your brain is operating at. So like, if you had no trauma ever, your brain would be operating at like frequency X. And because of all your trauma or PTSD, anyone who has had like severe concussions, like actual like physical, mental, emotional, spiritual trauma, sleeping issues, anxiety, like reactiveness, basically, you know, so many things about us.
Right.
Your frequency like moves, right? It kind of gets off balance. And so they can read all the parts of your brain and see where you're operating at. And I'll never forget Gwen, the woman who like has done my stuff the last few times I've done it. The first time I ever went in, she was like going to print off my chart, and under her breath, she was just like, "Oh, you poor thing." Because you go in and you're like, you don't have to say anything. There's no talking. So again, great for people that are triggered by talking about their stuff. But just from reading my like brain, she was like, I can tell like you have really bad anxiety, like probably a little bit of OCD, if not a lot of OCD. Like your brain's basically been stuck in flight or fight since you were like however old, like just from reading my brain. And I'm just like, oh shit. And so then that's the first session. And then every session after,
I was like, whoa.
Right. So every session after that, you go once a week for 12 weeks. And they do like 7 parts of your brain at a time every session. So it only takes like 15 minutes. It's literally like 30 seconds on each, whatever. And they basically, so say your brain is operating, I'm saying this wrong, but this is basically it. Like say your brain is operating at like a really high frequency. This little thing that they put on the part of your brain sends the correct frequency into your brain. And how I understand it is like your brain knows to match it. So it will bring it out of like flight or fight and make it like kind of match it. And then obviously you go out into the world and shit happens and you come back in and they can see like how it's been operating in the last like week or whatever. And so you do this like 12 weeks in a row, and it basically like brings your frequency of your brain down to where you like should be operating.
Is this like $1 million?
No, literally, I'm pretty sure I want to say it's $1,200, so $100 a session. If you pay all at once, I want to say. And genuinely, like I'm trying to sign them as a client. Hopefully this helps, but only, you know me, I only want to sign people that I like genuinely believe in.
And so, for context, you have a PR company.
Oh yeah, that is true.
So you want to sign them as a client because of that. Okay.
Right. And, but I like am obsessed. And so I did this like 2 years ago while I had done like however many months of EMDR, did the 12 weeks of this. And then I was like, okay, I just need like a break from all the therapy for a minute. You know, shit got crazy the last year. We moved, my like business really took off. Like I was just stressed, and I could tell I was becoming like more reactive. And so I am just now like, I have my 12th appointment tomorrow, and I'm like night and day difference, like how I was last time. I feel like it gives you the tools to operate in the middle.
You all know I'm all about that beauty that's effortless and fun, which is why I'm obsessed with the new Lash Blast Supercloud Mascara from Covergirl. This mascara super boosts your lashes with weightless length, light as air lift. Seriously, it feels like nothing is on there, but the results are everything. The air whipped formula packed with vegan collagen, vitamin B5, and amino acids keep my lashes looking long, lifted, and so soft. Plus, it's clump-free, smudge-free, flake-free, and lasts up to 24 hours. Because if my mascara can outlast my day and a glass of wine or two, like we've got a winner. I love using it to get that fresh kind of clean girl makeup look when I want my lashes to stand out but still feel super natural, or just for a night out, just swipe, lift, boom, bop, bing, bop, bam, super boosted. And best of all, it's vegan, cruelty-free, easy to remove, so try it for yourself and get ready for your lash glow up. Only from Easy Breezy, beautiful Covergirl. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. I think we are finally starting to talk more openly about mental health more and more, which is such a good thing, but it can still feel really overwhelming to actually start therapy. And there's time, there's commitment, the emotional energy, and let's be honest, the cost. Traditional therapy can run anywhere from $100 to $250 a session. That really adds up fast. BetterHelp is helping to make therapy more accessible in a way that just makes sense for real life. It's entirely online, and you pay a flat flat weekly fee, so you're not stressing about the price every time you have a session. And on average, you're saving up to 50% compared to in-person therapy. That makes a really big difference. They've got over 30,000 licensed therapists on the platform, and more than 5 million people have already used it, me being one of them. Whether you're dealing with anxiety, stress, relationship stuff, or you just want to work on being a little kinder to yourself, BetterHelp can help. And if the first therapist that you're matched with isn't the right fit, you can switch at any time, no questions asked, and you can do sessions from your own home. I do it from my couch, on a lunch break, in your car, wherever you feel comfortable. It's therapy that works with your life, not against it. And I do really believe that taking care of your mind is just as important as taking care of your body, maybe more so. And if you've been following me, then you just know that I've taken therapy for years and a huge advocate. So if you've been thinking about starting therapy or even just looking for a little more support in your life, great place to begin. Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/fine to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/fine.
So I have ADHD. I was diagnosed, I think when I was like 7 or whatever. And some days that's really hard when you're running a business and like so many people need you. And so last week I saw the map of my brain and like the part that they can tell like where ADD comes from was like not good. And so she did like the little like frequency thing, scanned it again and saw it had gotten like bigger in real time. Like it's supposed to be bigger, gotten bigger in real time, but she was like, it's still not great. And like I had all this shit coming up last week. So she was like, let's hit it one more time. And so she did that same part of my brain again. And you can see it like getting better in real time.
Oh my God, I'd be like DJ Khaled, like another one, another one. Hit it.
Literally, I'm not kidding. I'm like addicted. And last time I did it like 2 years ago.
Fascinating.
It's so fascinating. And I'm just like, I wish more people had like an open mind. There's so many kids in there, like kids that have really bad ADHD or like have been through any type of trauma. I just wish I think this was a thing probably when I was a kid. We just like didn't really know about it. And I'm like, had I had this when I was a kid, like I'd be unstoppable right now.
I think about that all the time, where I'd be if I had the stuff that I needed, the tools as a kid. But that's kind of part of why you are the way you are, and who you are, and why you have what you have.
Exactly.
Is because of the shit that you went through.
100%.
Yeah.
And the universe, like, no, like that wasn't our journey.
Yeah.
But like how cool if us talking about it, it helps somebody else. Like I just like am truly obsessed with this company. I think it's called Harmonized Brain Therapy.
That is
something like that.
Really cool.
It's so cool. And I'm just like, again, let's try everything once except for anal, like
whatever. Back to the anal. That's so interesting though, because I would love to understand.
It's the tequila.
My brain. Like I
same.
would, because I really sometimes I don't give myself enough credit for how much I've grown as a human.
Yeah.
But like if I reflect on the last 10 years, I'm like
night and day. Oh God, I was psychotic.
But then you add those things in, like, obviously I've done too much talk therapy, but then I've started EMDR. I've done like the retreats, and I'm just like, it has benefited me in every way. Not one negative thing about it, all positive.
Literally, just try it. And if nothing comes from it, it's not going to get worse. Like that's
what we do now. I realized that my depression and anxiety hits the hardest during like 3 days before my period.
Right. Which is like an actual like disorder, right? Or like, I don't know if that's the right word, but like
it is.
Yeah.
And it's like a chemical imbalance and a disorder and like mood. I don't know what is, it's bad. Whatever it is, it's bad. It's so bad. But even just like that brain mapping or whatever it is that you're doing, it's always so validating too, because for so long I felt crazy.
Yes.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm just hormonal. And then learning now more, I reposted this thing where it's like a man's cycle is 24 hours. They wake up, they feel the same way.
Right.
I'm not saying they don't have emotions or but like for the most part, they feel very routine in how they feel.
Right.
Where a woman's cycle is 28 days. So you're a different person for 28 days. And just hearing that is so validating, because you're like, no wonder I'm tired.
100%.
No wonder I lose my shit. No wonder my patience is low. No wonder I hate men a lot of times. Because I'm like, I have to go through we all as women have to go through crazy ups and downs every day.
That's literally, so we were talking about endometriosis before we came up here, because like I'm on my period right now, woof. And I've had endometriosis. I've had the surgery
for my white couch.
Do you also remember like the interior designers were going to give you like a red couch and I was like, this type B bitch is going to have dog hair all over that and do nothing about it. So they need to be white. So like I would be the one that's going to stain it with blood.
Yeah.
So well.
That is funny. I was going to have red couches and a total whole other vibe in here.
I remember.
And you were like, no.
That's funny. I know. So woof.
Okay, so you're on your period.
I'm on my period. Okay.
Do you have endometriosis? I can never say it.
Yeah, endometriosis.
Endometriosis.
Yes, I do have it. I've had the surgeries to remove it. It's just like a whole thing.
Did it work or no?
Okay,
Come
so
back?
like the only reason I really had it, I started my period when I was 10, like RIP. Yes, with a single dad. Can you imagine? So
Bless.
awesome. Yeah, I know. RIP.
Oh my God, my dad. One time I was like walking from. It was like in my second month of ever having my period, and I walked from the shower up to my bedroom, and he goes, "Oh, Kate, did you cut yourself? There's blood on the floor." And I was like, "No," and then I was like.
That's crazy. So when I started mine,
10 years old?
Yeah. And my dad was a single dad and it was like me and my brother. And thank God we had like the best neighbors ever. But my dad, I guess like when we moved into this house had like went and bought like a huge thing of pads. LOL. I've never used a pad, not like knocking it.
Oh my God,
I
I did for so
not
long.
a pad girly.
Yeah.
Of course, the first time I used a tampon in 7th grade, I
Put it in
literally,
your
this
butt.
girl, I'll
What?
never forget, shout out Jeannie Lutz. She came up to me and she was like, tapped me on the shoulder at lunch in the cafeteria. And she was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know you bled through. I didn't even know what that meant. And I was like, what? And I think she gave me her jacket or someone gave me a jacket. And I like went and I made my dad come pick me up. I was like so mortified. But so should have used a pad is the moral of the story.
Double up. Tampon and a pad.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the heavy flow, it's there.
Yeah.
So, but he had bought like this like pack of pads, I guess, when we moved here from Louisiana and put it under like my bathroom sink. And so I'll never forget that day. Like I was out with all the neighborhood kids. We were running. We had jumped this fence and I did like cut my jeans, like literally from like my kneecap down. And so I got out of the shower and there was blood. And I was like, oh my God, like when I was putting my leg over the fence, like I must have cut my jeans and my vagina. So I was like so confused and I know. I was like, I just didn't know. And so I will never forget. My dad has like those old school, like 80s glasses. He's like laying in bed, like reading his book. And I like go in there like from the shower. I'm like in a little towel and I'm like, Dad. And he's like, I was like, I think I need a Band-Aid. And he like looks up from his book, like, cause I was just always getting into shit anyway. And he was like, why? And I was like, I cut myself. And he was like, okay, we'll go get one. And I was like, I don't know how to put it on it. And he was like, what do you mean?
Your vagina.
Yeah. And I was like, it's down there. And he literally just like looked back down in his book and was like, remember that green box under the sink? Go get it and bring it to Miss Georgia, which was my neighbor. And
so I was like, Miss Georgia was your neighbor.
Oh, Miss Georgia, she was a saint. And so yeah, I did. I like got this it was a thing of pads and I brought it over and she was so cute. She started crying and she was like, you're a little woman.
Oh my God.
Cute. So that's my period story.
I didn't get my period until I was like 18.
I mean, it
I
didn't
was like,
help.
come
I still
on.
have no boobs. You can't see it under here, but there's like no tits. I'm like, damn it.
Samesies. But I'm the same way. Like I was more the other way where I was like waiting for it. And then the reason I switched to tampons was because I was wearing a pad and I went to pull my pants up like this. I was wearing a white shirt. And I just pressed
And it got
my
blood
white
on your
t-shirt
shirt.
onto my pad and got blood everywhere. And I had to run home because I was like,
the most used story I've ever heard.
I struggle really bad with cramps.
Yeah.
I struggle really bad with anxiety around that time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and most women do, and they just don't talk about it, whether it's maybe they don't get bad cramps, but they don't realize that their
bless 'em.
moods are everywhere. Like something happens in that time.
100%.
As like someone that does all the like energy healing, somebody that does do everything that you can do to take care of your body, what is like the top thing that you do for yourself during that time?
100%. It's not just during this time. And this is how I know that, not that this is a million reasons I know this is so real, but like, and I'm almost like ashamed to say this a little bit because, we moved last year and like that I not let myself go, but like kind of, my morning routine is like crazy. It has been my whole life, but I like live and die by it. So I have had all these like colon issues growing up. I got really sick in my 20s, was like having to take this shit that would basically, I have chronic constipation. Little
fun.
podcast material for you.
No, I love relatable shit.
I mean, for real.
All the constipated girlies at home are gonna be like, I feel seen.
No, for real.
Yeah.
And
I'm like the opposite. I'm like 3 times a day.
I mean, okay. Well, so that was what like was happening when I was a kid is that I could actually eat an M&M and take a shit, but we didn't learn till later in life. It was like I had these 2 CAT scans because I kept getting sick and I actually had like I don't know, again, not a doctor, but like over 20 feet of feces, like fecal matter, to a point that can like literally come up your esophagus and kill you.
I've heard about that.
Yes. So they compared.
You little backed up bitch. I'm so sorry.
Backed up bitch who knows how to bag it up. Okay.
But like literally, that's
that's like an actual thing. RIP. So what was the point of this? The ADD. Why are we talking about this?
period. What do you do?
What I do. Okay. So,
I also have it not as bad, but I'm like, I don't know. Where are we?
When I was having all those issues, like for like 7 years, I was like, taking Adderall, and I was taking like this medication to help me go to the bathroom. And I like taking medication, which I've taken a ton over the years for different things, like, but it's always given me anxiety. And we both know I have terrible anxiety, like diagnosed with OCD when I was really young, was on like the highest dose of Effexor for that, which if anyone is on that, they know it's like last resort type shit.
Yeah.
Like I was really not mentally well. And so I really believe there's a time and a place for all medications, but taking it gives me anxiety because I don't know like what's going into my body. So growing up in this like kind of hippie world, again, like I mentioned, that my friend's family that had a lot of influence on me always talked about like Anthony Williams, and Medical Medium is his handle on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like when I tell you like saved my life, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I, again, not a doctor, don't recommend this, but like weaned myself off 60 milligrams of Adderall, and stopped taking this like colon medication that I like pretty much lived and died. I tried like several other times to stop taking it and would end up in the hospital, like so sick. And I like literally like bruises on my stomach from like my or like intestines being so expanded from like the fecal situation.
Bless.
And so his like number one protocol is like wake up every morning and have celery juice on an empty stomach. And so I weaned myself off of these medications and started drinking celery juice like 16 ounces a day. That's what he says, kind of like start with, or like start slow. Actually, I think it's like 4 ounces or whatever, and work your way up.
That made me shit my pants every day when I did that.
Yeah, but I have chronic constipation. So
right,
like,
okay.
But that's why I think everyone says they
Yeah.
shit their pants for like the first couple days, and then it like evens out.
I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't even go work out because I was like, it's just gonna leak.
It
My
will,
butt's
that
gonna
will
leak.
stop. But
Okay.
like the first week that I did it, drinking 16 ounces, like I did not go to the bathroom. And so I was in so much pain, and I was like, this is a terrible idea. So I upped it to 32 ounces, and I started going to the bathroom a little bit. And so then I kept upping it. And literally, when I tell you, like, I did not miss celery juice for the next 5 years. So I do every morning, like lemon water. Now I do lemon water, wait 20 minutes, celery juice, wait 20 minutes. But this last year, this is why I'm like kind of ashamed to say this, was the point of this, is because like I'm so religious with my morning routine. And I've told so many people to drink celery juice because it will change your life. Like it will change your skin. It will change your ADD. It will change your bowel movements. It will change everything. It is like I think he says it's like the elixir of all human life. Like the basis of all human life is with celery juice. He says it'll be like 25 years before science discovers like what he calls a sodium cluster that like binds to toxins in your blood and body and brain and like pulls literal shit out of you. And I believe it because it's changed my life. Like, and
I did it for 2 weeks and I was like, bye.
Yes. And so I started my period when I was 10, started having these horrible periods. Like I literally faint all the time. I like projectile vomit. I like shit uncontrollably, which is weird when you have like chronic constipation, but
no, that's a real thing.
Yes. And
the period poops.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Literally yesterday morning, I have like one of the most intense meetings of my life yesterday. And at 5:45, I wake up like literally pouring sweat. Like Stefan is always just like, now 14 years in, he's used to it as you can be. But like, there's no way to get used to like the person you love the most. Like literally turning green and like shitting and puking themselves and then passing the out. And so it's so terrible and it's so real, and endometriosis is so real, but that my periods have gotten worse the last year because I have not been as consistent with celery juice. And that's the thing I'm ashamed to say, because
You're like, that's what I'm ashamed to say. And that is the cure to PMS.
I'm not kidding.
What?
So like literally I've kind of been testing it like cause I'm like, is this what's making my period so bad? Because I've never in 5 years, like I had a travel juicer. It exploded in South Carolina. Like bitches,
celery juice take out fibroids from your uterus? Cause I need those gone.
I mean, I literally, his protocols, like, so he has so many books. There's like one called like the, like fruits and vegetables, like life changing, or like how I'm going to but just like look up medical medium books. And that's the thing is like, this guy is not out for money. Like,
but he's not a doctor, right?
He's not a doctor. He's a medium.
Okay.
But like when I tell you like millions of followers, people are healing shit from like Alzheimer's to stage 4 pancreatic cancer, which we all know is a death sentence.
Whoa.
Like you can heal your body. Like the universe provides what we need to heal. And I think like, you know, well, that's a whole nother conversation. I can get wild, but I think Big Pharma wants us to stay sick is what I really think. And I think what we need to heal a lot of times is provided by the earth. And we just like, people don't talk about it or they don't have an open mind. But I will say this, when you are sick enough, and I was 22 and I'm like literally missed my sister's rehearsal dinner because I'm so deathly ill, like just when you're missing life events and you are chronically ill, you will try anything.
That's true.
And when it works, you want everyone to know about it. And like, that's why I started my PR company, because if it's a product, a person, a service, a plant, anything I believe in, I can sell it to anyone. And I'm like, everyone go drink some celery juice, okay? Careful. Careful for the first week. You might shit your pants for the first 3 hours.
It's 555.
Is it?
Yeah. God, I just looked at the time. I really did do that for a while, but I had to stop because of how much I couldn't.
Okay, so back it off. Like literally back it off. And he does say you have to like juice it fresh every day.
I was doing that.
Yeah. So that's like, I'm just telling for your people.
Yeah. For the people.
Because some people are like, can I just like make it all at once? I think he says like after like 24 hours, it like loses its like kind of like efficacy. Is that the right word? No, probably not.
Don't ask me.
I used to be smart and I swear to God, it's like you don't use it, you lose it.
Endometriosis. Oh, I did it.
You did it. So like I would say back it off. He says like if you have chronic issues, I think it starts at 16 to 32 ounces and you can go up to like 100 and something, but like start at 4 ounces. And like once you know you're good and then move it up to 8 and then 12 and then 16 is like if you have no chronic issues, like the kind of golden number. And if you do have chronic issues, like 32. But when I say I didn't miss it for 5 years, after the first 6 months of doing 32 ounces, I backed down to 24 ounces and that's what I stay at.
I knew you did that for a long time. I didn't know that was like,
oh, I live and die by it. And that's what I'm saying. This last year, I've like been kind of ashamed to say that I've missed I've missed like a couple weeks at a time. And I swear to God, my periods had not been this bad since I was a kid. And I'm like, the only thing that is different is that I've not been drinking celery juice consistently.
What is in celery? Fiber?
He says that, okay, so his thing is like, it'll be 25 years before science discovers what he calls a sodium cluster. And so who knows what that means, but I believe it. Honestly, he could tell me to go eat dog shit and I would do it.
I know you would. What about it? What if in 30 years, everyone's like, don't drink celery juice. This is how I feel about everything.
I totally get it.
I'll be like, I'm eating all my fruits and veggies.
Yeah.
And now someone's like,
oh, you're going to get fat.
It's a scam.
Yeah.
Vegetables are a scam.
He
I'm
talks
like,
about all this shit, like literally all this. It's so interesting. And I feel like you would honestly really like his books because he talks about like the spiritual side of like when you eat a kiwi, when you eat whatever. And it's like, you have to, that part of it I get, you have to have a really open mind for.
Look, I've got some downtime. I said I'm the slowest I've been in 10 years.
Go.
Maybe I start a food journal.
I'm not kidding.
Kiwi. What do I feel?
I like apparently 3 kiwis a day. Like Stefan and I, when I tell you like
that used to be my high snack.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
When I was like 27 and I went through a little like smoking pot phase in Vancouver. I like gummies now, but when I used to like smoke pot when I was 27 and I would just line up kiwis.
I love a kiwi. Like love a kiwi. So Stefan and I, we eat pretty much like 3 a day, which is like the fact that we can even get that many kiwis in Tennessee is crazy.
Well, at least they're not eggs because we're on an egg
well, and that's the thing is like medical medium says he's like got 5 kind of like things that will just like you up no matter what, and eggs is one of them. So for a long time I believe they were poison, but
eggs will fuck you up.
Yeah. Well, but he says like they used to be like this is now turned into, I know. Listen, read the books. I swear to God. But
do you eat meat?
Yes, I eat meat and I eat eggs, but like sometimes I'm on like, am I poisoning myself eating this egg?
I get egg ick though.
Yeah, same. Like
sometimes
the smell,
I'm like, this is a chicken's period.
It's like, I cannot. Like, I didn't know that, but like, honestly, say less. Actually, say less because like I need to like some days eat them for protein.
I get chicken ick and egg ick.
Yeah. Oh, the chicken when you hit like a tendon? No.
No. Or you see a vein? I'm out.
I'm absolutely
Yeah. Then I'll like eat a rack of ribs that's still in like rib form. It's like literally here to here. I'm like, I'm
dead,
and I don't get the ick from that.
Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely no. But yeah, I'll to meet. I'm from Louisiana, bitch.
What's your biggest conspiracy theory?
Ooh, I'm probably not the best at this.
Okay.
Am I?
Celery juice will cure cancer. I'm not really a conspiracy theorist.
But that's fact. So I'm like, I don't know, like, what are some of them?
Do you believe, what are conspiracy theories?
Big Pharma was one of them.
Yeah, Big Pharma.
I don't even know about the conspiracies about Big Pharma, but I do, like,
There's got to be something to that. I believe in medicine because I take Celexa and it cured my depression.
100%.
Not cured, but helped. But there is something to that.
A time and a place for both. Like I said, like if you actually look up Effexor, it's pretty much like a death sentence. And like most people that are on it, again, it's like, or at least when I was taking it, it was like last resort. You had to try everything to get to that point. And like my OCD was out of control. The highest dose, again, this might be different now, but was like 300 milligrams. And so some people are on like 25, max like 100. And like if you tell someone like 300 milligrams of Effexor, they're like, oh shit, bitch.
I feel like I'm like the Skinny Confidential podcast right now.
Are you?
No, but she always does like conspiracy theories and has like controversial people on that have beliefs in like celery juice or something. You don't listen to that podcast?
I don't listen to any podcast.
Oh, okay.
It's the ADD. I literally don't hear a thing y'all are saying.
I get that. I have a podcast. You would think, oh, she listens to podcasts to like, I don't know, get inspo. I cannot listen to a podcast because of my ADHD.
Oh, the way I can tune shit out. And people are like, oh, well then that means you don't have ADD because you can focus. And I'm like, no. I'm not like bouncing around the room. I'm so hyper fixated on shit. Like I'm the bitch that like when I log into my computer or I've got like an event plan or whatever, I will go, and before I know it, at 6 p.m. I haven't put a piece of food in my mouth. Like shit, I'm like, okay, well, how did I get here?
What am I? I'm not that.
That's okay. I think there's a lot of different types.
I'm like, I'll start something, and then all of a sudden I'm doing laundry, and then mid laundry, and I'm like, where's my phone? And then I'm on my phone, and I'm on Instagram, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing an email, and then I'll miss a call.
Yeah,
like,
but you know how to lock in. So I'm the same. Literally today, I sent Stefan a picture like an hour ago because he's always like pointing shit out, like, oh, you're ADD. So in the morning, I do, like, I'll put, if I'm in a hurry, 2 eggs in the air fryer, and then I'll make avocado toast, which, like, life hack, eggs might be poison, but if they're not, I put them in the air fryer. It takes 7 minutes.
A good person for conspiracy theorists. Eggs are poison.
I'm still eating them, bitch, okay? I'm like, I gotta get protein, medical medium does.
Kat and I always talk about it's 80-20. 80% do what you're supposed to do, and 20% live a little.
I love to live a little.
Yeah,
love
20%.
to live a lot. Yeah, 20%. I mean, honestly, though,
I'm like, I try to do 80-20, but I'm more 40-60. 60-40.
Honestly, I think I'm probably 80-20, but like on whatever day, like if I'm going like 80 in on partying, bitch, I'm 80, like, and I might have a piece of avocado on that day of partying. Like that's my 20%.
I might have a piece of avocado. Was avocado bad too?
No, apparently it's so good. I actually don't love avocado. My parents made me eat it so much as a kid. Like that was our after school snack.
Same. Wait, it was my mom would mash it for me when I got braces.
Okay, wow,
because it was the
nice.
only thing that I would
You could
eat,
eat?
and so now I associate it with braces, but I still like it.
Okay, so we got home every day from school, and like everyone had like whatever Lucky
Granola
Charms or some
bars?
shit. Yeah, and
I would put granola bars with rainbow sprinkle icing on it.
a dream as a kid.
Yeah.
We got an avocado cut in half, take out the seed, and poured my dad's homemade lemon dressing in it, and we got a spoon to eat it like ice cream. That was our R.I.P. What a childhood. It explains a lot.
It's interesting though.
Oh my God.
Why health nuts?
I don't even know. My dad is just like honestly a really good cook. He should have been like a chef. I think maybe everyone from Louisiana says that. And so I think we were probably just like too broke to go out. So he was just like, here, eat this. It's good.
That's
but
smart.
like, so like, yeah, the texture and
That's cool that you grew up with a dad that could just like cook anything. My parents,
the best.
they cooked, but it would be like on Mondays it was a specific meal. On Sundays it was Yorkshire pudding and roast beef and pickled beets. And on Wednesday it was.
Are you British? Isn't that a
super British. I'm super British.
How did I not know this? I thought you were Canadian. Or is that the
Do you know
same thing?
anything about the history of Canada?
No.
We basically
I told you
are.
I just don't know about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, which means you're a liar, which means you probably know everything about Canada and how.
I've never even been to Canada.
Okay, well, we learn about you guys in Canada at school. You guys don't learn about us, but yes, we.
The ADD was not allowing me to learn about
Canadians
Canada.
and Britons are like
The same.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
All right, it's home project season. In my opinion, it always is. And I am deep in it right now. My current project is turning my backyard into the place to be this summer. I am obviously putting in a pool. I've told everybody about that, refreshing the patio, and just trying to create a space that feels fun but relaxing and just totally me. MVP of this whole process,
Wayfair. Wayfair really is the best kept secret when it comes to home improvement. So whether you're going big, like I am with the whole backyard situation, or you're just making small updates like changing out a cabinet or hardware or bathroom lighting, they've literally got everything. I've been finding the cutest outdoor lighting, also storage options, and even furniture that actually fits the vibe that I want and my budget. So what I love is that they have all top brands like Moen and GE, but it's not intimidating or overwhelming to shop. You can filter everything by style, price, whatever you need, and somehow you end up with the things that feel almost custom picked for you. And the best part, shipping is free, even on the big pieces. And in some cases, they'll help you set it all up. I was actually really impressed with that part. I really believe that when you make changes to your space, even the small ones, it makes your home feel more like you. Wayfair makes that process easy, affordable, and honestly kind of a little addicting in the best way. So shop the best selection of home improvement online. Get renovating with Wayfair. Head to wayfair.com right now. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. This episode of Off the Vine is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You know that feeling when you find this amazing deal and then suddenly you're feeling like a financial genius? Move over, Warren Buffett. I just saved big. Well, that's exactly what it's like when you switch to your car insurance with Progressive, because you can save hundreds, just by making the switch. Progressive offers discounts for things like paying in full, owning a home, and so much more. You're not just getting great coverage, you're getting rewarded for the smart choices that you're already making. And let's be real, who doesn't love a little extra money in their pocket? You crazy if you don't. And the best part is their customer service actually shows up when you need them. So whether it's a fender bender or just a question about your policy, they're there to help, not leave you stuck on hold forever. So if you're looking for a simple way to make your dollar go further, it is time to check out Progressive. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Wait, talk about your PR company, because you switched. First of all, you used to style me for everything. You styled me for Music City.
Look at that cover, honey.
But you've done so much for me, like podcast tour, all of my trips, so many things, carpets, so many things.
So fun.
Before we get into why you switched gears,
yeah,
how would you describe my personal style?
Well, type B, we got to know that for sure, which I've said to you a million times. I'm like, so it doesn't matter if you're wearing a $10,000 coat if it's covered in dog hair, bitch. Yeah.
That is so me.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think one of the reasons we like immediately meshed was because we're both a little bit more masculine, you know?
Yeah.
We don't have to be like the girliest girl, but we can be girly girls.
Yes.
I think that's my whole thing. And I think yours too is like you dress off your mood. Not like no one has like a particular style. I won't say no one, but at least like people that I work with, it's just like you get like today, would I have worn this had I not like had cramps right now and like not slept from tornado warnings? Maybe not. Also though, I did wear this one because of those reasons, but also when I was a stylist, I was signed with the Only Agency, and this is a brand that is a fellow stylist who signed at the Only Agency. Her name's Mae Riley. She's insane. I'm sure you've heard of her.
Yeah.
But she also just lost everything in the California wildfires. Like her whole house burned down. And like as a stylist, like I have clothes in my closet that I had in high school.
Yeah.
Like the shit that she lost, her wedding dress, like everything. It's just like so Local Love Club is her brand, and obviously it's sick, so y'all go support it.
That's a good point though. I like, because we were talking about this earlier with like asking you about styling people based on event, mood, who they are, what they're feeling that day. That's such a real thing.
It's such a real thing. Like I think the one like thing that always comes to mind because people talk about it is like the Golden Bachelor for you. The green dress. It was Carolina Herrera. So sick.
Oh,
so
the wedding.
Gorgina. It was like your meatball gate or whatever.
My meatball gate. I was just deadpan down the barrel, eating a meatball in my green dress. Yeah.
But like that dress was gorgina and it was like gaping and like something you wouldn't typically do. And I love like when you do shit that like people don't expect you to do because they expect you to be like in a beanie or like an oversized flat thing or whatever. Yeah. And so it's just like that was your mood for that trip and great, let's go for it.
That's true. Know? I like that though. Another question that we didn't get to that I really want to ask you is for people at home who don't have the budget to like get the high-end pieces. I know you're really good at shopping for a sale, a vintage piece. You're so good at finding like what is like a good store or place to start for people who can just elevate their look? What do they need and where do they shop?
100%. I wish I was a gatekeeper. Never happened. But United Apparel Liquidators. It's called UAL on Instagram. I think they're at Shop UAL. When I tell you, they've been in business, I think like over 40 years now. Like I have shopped there since high school. When I tell you I have pieces from there from high school, I absolutely do. So they are a liquidator of designer fashion. And so like I'll have this like crazy ass shit, because that's the thing. I love fashion, and don't get me wrong, like every now and then will I like drop some money on some retail, of course, but I also just like love a deal and grew up broke. So like I always kind of have that mentality, like let's, get the bag, but save money where you can. And they really have the best shit. I want to say, I don't know how many locations they have now, but they've got like 3 in Nashville, a couple in Mississippi, a couple in Louisiana. Shop online? You can shop online.
Cool.
It's insane. So they start at like 80% off.
Wow.
So like when I say 90% of my closet is UAL, like I'm not kidding. Actually, I have like this event coming up, and the girls, like the managers there, like my friends now, like they were at my house last Saturday and we were like doing all this shit, like to like just for shits and gigs. And they're like, holy shit, half your closet is literally shit that we've sold you. And I'm like, no, thank God. I mean, thank God for them, like always sending me pictures before shit hits the floors. I don't know if I should say that, but they do. Their job is to sell it, and I'm buying it. So whatever. But like literally I love them for that. And I just like, I think getting a deal is awesome, and that's where to do it.
Cool.
And it's literally designer pieces.
What is like 5 staples somebody should have in their closet?
Oh God, I'm honestly the wrong stylist probably to ask this, because I do love crazy wild shit. And I'm like that, what you're wearing in there is Sally LaPointe, who the brand is now LaPointe, but that's a piece that's like a $12,000 jacket I got from UAL probably like 10 years ago, because her brand in that jacket, it's labeled Sally LaPointe.
$12,000 jacket there?
Hell yeah, bitch. But of course I didn't pay that, but it's still like a piece that I love.
Cool.
And like I, felt would, look good for this cover in your podcast room and all the things.
Very
so
cool.
Yeah, I'm probably the wrong person to ask, but I feel like if you're going for a capsule wardrobe, like obviously great t-shirts, like a simple Bombas white tee. I love a good pair of jeans.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is like a topper, that. I like, whether it be a trench, just a shirt oversized that's like unbuttoned, anything that you can throw on top of something to kind of just like give it a little extra zhuzh. I also think like a good accessory, like a go-to earring, I think that's 4. And
What about a bag?
Yeah. I mean, the masculine in me, like I'm starting to get more into bags, but like I've just, me, I've got my safe sleeve, like radiation cover on my phone, and that's what I carry. It's my wallet. Like I don't need a bag. Like listen, Anna Wintour doesn't carry a bag, neither do I, bitch.
That's so
okay.
I mean, for my whole life, I would get my like one bag every 3 years from Payless Shoes.
Hell yeah.
And now I have a couple nice bags.
Yeah.
But one was a gift.
Okay, great. And don't be ashamed, bitch. You've worked your ass off. Like, let's go. You deserve that.
Yeah, but I'm like, that ain't... no, I'm starting to like it.
Yes.
But before I would have been like, what a waste of money.
Yeah,
Where now I'm like, I'm going to have this forever. I'm so proud of it. And I got this.
You should
Not
be.
this one, but this one.
Yeah.
But
you should
yeah,
be.
that's true.
And honestly, you could have a lot more shit and you don't.
That's true.
You literally like
I'm
pull
finally starting to maybe give myself some...
Let's go, honey.
But like... Yeah. I kind of went hard all at once. I was like, new house, new car, build a pool.
You really did.
And now I'm broke. And then there was flooding today, and now my kitchen
she's on the corner.
is raining. I walked into
Working
my
that
kitchen
street
this
corner, baby.
morning, and I was like, no! I was literally looking.
That was
I
insane.
didn't sleep because of the tornadoes. No one did. Then I finally get my ass out of bed because I'm like, I'm going to go lift weights.
Yeah.
I go out, and it's raining in my kitchen, and I was like,
I cannot.
and I called Kat crying. I was like, what do I do? She's like, I don't know. Why are you calling me? I was like, because you're comforting. I don't know.
It's literally, honestly, I don't know.
Nashville's wild.
Nashville's wild.
Okay, but you tell us about your PR company, and then I'm going to let you get the out of here.
Okay, I love you. Wow. I'm honestly, like, I can't believe where it's at. We started it in 2022, mainly because, so as a wardrobe stylist, with the type of wardrobe styling I did, was mainly like editorial, celebrity. So we work with fashion PR. A lot of people don't know how that works, but like the BTS of it all in a nutshell is like brands pay, if they don't have an in-house PR, they pay outside PR to help them get brand exposure, brand awareness, get their like clothes seen on celebrities. So it's kind of this like synergistic relationship between a fashion PR and celebrity wardrobe stylist because they need each other, right? Like if a celebrity wardrobe stylist doesn't want to go pay for clothes, they know that a fashion PR company has like clothes from different brands. And then same thing, the fashion PR company gets paid from their brands to get their shit seen on celebrities. So they kind of need each other, right?
That makes
sense. We basically work together. So like when I would be dressing you for like a red carpet, like I will, if we know what like the vision is or what we think we want it to be, I will reach out to like a ton of PR companies saying like, hey, I'm dressing Kaitlyn Bristowe for this event. Do you have anything? They're all like, absolutely, yes. So I'm like, do you have anything that kind of looks like this from any of your designers? And they'll send you lookbooks or like, you know, pieces that they have. And if you accept, they'll send them to you pretty much free of charge usually, and hoping that you end up putting their piece on that celebrity and it gets seen on a red carpet. And then that's how these brands get sales. So there's no fashion PR in Nashville, which makes doing a job here very difficult. So I just kept saying like, eventually someone's going to start it. And no one did. So finally
I was like,
yes,
you do it.
Literally. So we were like, let's do it. And we do have a few fashion brands, obviously like shoes, things like, you know, a couple other I love, and that is all will always be a passion. But because I was in celebrity wardrobe styling, a lot of my clients, you know, are who they are, have other brands, and I've worked with them for a decade. So they're like, hey, why don't you do our PR and marketing? Like, we trust you.
Yeah.
And so we don't really just do fashion. I mean, we have candles, like our candles are back there.
I've talked about those candles on my podcast before because they're always in the frame.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
they're the best.
They are the best.
They're the best.
Big ass candles.
Big ass candles. So we have like candles, NFL agents. We do like travel properties, hotels, like, I mean, all sorts of shit. And I'm like truly pinching myself that like, it's ended up like this. And again, like we don't just take on anyone. I'm very clear about that. Like you've put up posts about us before and it's so nice. Like some people have reached out and I have to truly believe like in the product, the service, the brand, or the people behind it, hopefully all of the above, because I really, like Stefan always says, like I could sell sand at the beach and that's super nice. But if I believe in something, like I want everyone to know about it. And the cool, crazy ideas we have that kind of come from the love and like actual belief in these brands and people, I'm just like so grateful for. I have a team of badass women that literally are the best at what they do. And
I think that's like the secret sauce to building a business and a brand is
I'm not
having
even
a
kidding.
team full of incredible women.
I honestly am so like, I never thought I would, I had
Men, fine. I'm not a man hater. No, I act like one all the time. I'm not.
Jesus. But also like they've had their time for all of eternity. So like
and women are so brilliant.
So brilliant. And we're literally never given the opportunity to show it. And when we are, it's just like, you know, we change the world. And I truly believe that. And to have a company that I can have these women like work for me as a stylist, I had, you know, full-time assistants and stuff, and that was amazing. And they were incredible and helped me run things. And I'm so grateful for that. But like to have, you know, one of my girls has worked for E-News for 20 years. And like I mean, it's just like the craziest resume of all these people. And like the fact that they want to work with me is like shocking actually. But
no, it's because you get shit done and you do it the right way and you are type A.
Yeah, I'm very type
That was like
A.
a rhyme. But you are like,
that's so nice.
like when I did the fridge with the freaking
Get into the limelight, baby. That's the tan.
The tan is so good. We hired Thunder Down Under men to carry the fridges to influencers in Nashville.
Oh my
full
God.
of the tanning product and wine. I was like, this is why I'm on the other end of it. I'm like, and you're like, got the fridges lined up and you're putting, I wish I could show people right now.
I know.
It's like very personalized and you open it and everything was stuck in. And
Co-branded.
everything, you think of everything.
Literally. I am proud of that one.
If that was up to me, I would just show up in like I would get like an Uber Honda Civic to just take me and be like, here's a bottle of wine. You're like, no, bitch, we're renting a pink limo.
Yep.
We're getting a massive magnet that says Spade and Sparrows on the pink limo.
Yep.
We're going to get the Thunder Down Under guys to carry you and the fridge
Yep.
out of the limo. We're
Yep.
going to have it packed with these products. It's going to
Yes.
be personalized to each person. I wouldn't think like that. That's why people are always like, Kaitlyn, building a brand. But I'm like, because I have a team.
Right. Literally. It's all about.
I'm good at what I know how to do.
Yeah.
And then I have a team around me that knows how to do their job.
Literally,
Yeah.
which they also run very efficiently, I will say.
Spade
Literally.
and Sparrows is so good.
And Spain, I mean, and off the vine, like even
Oh,
coming
duh.
here, like your producers and shit, like they're like, hey, you know, come here at this time. And I'm like, wow, this is so unlocked.
Well, shit, I've been doing this for 8 years. I hope it's dialed by this point.
Seriously, I like
God.
walk in, I'm like, oh, this is
Could you
actually
imagine?
happening. No, that thank you. That's really nice. And I am very proud of that. It was so much fun. And I am so thankful you've supported my businesses over the years.
Duh.
Like, I know, but I'm very grateful for that.
Well, I'm grateful for you.
Mm.
And I'm grateful that you fought through the nerves to come here today and do the podcast. Tell everyone where they can find your PR company.
Oh my gosh, we are Leigh Taylor Public Relations Plus. So we are a full public relations and creative agency. Everything you need from web design, public relations to marketing, we do it all. We are at Leigh Taylor PR, Leigh, and that's how you can find us on Instagram. You can send me an email at taylor@leightaylourpr.com. And yeah, that's where you can find me.